All right, let's go, everyone. Let's go, guys. Drop your names in the chat, everyone. Everybody, drop your names in the chat, guys. Let's go, guys. Drop your names in the chat, everyone. Let's go. Everybody, drop your names in the chat. Drop your names in the chat, everyone. Let's go, guys. Welcome in, everyone. All right, let's do mayhem. Here you go, mayhem. Mayhem. We got is Rose. Thank you so much for liking. Ore, thank you for liking. Then my next subscriber is Darcy. Thank you for liking, Darcy. My next subscriber is Kia. Thank you for liking, Kia. My next subscriber is Aliyah. Thank you for liking, Aliyah. My next subscriber is Wyatt. Thank you for liking, Wyatt. My next subscriber is Kari. Thank you for liking. My next subscriber is Mia. Thank you for, Mia. Thank you for liking. My next subscriber is Maple. Thank you for liking. My next subscriber is Diva. Thank you for liking, Diva. My next subscriber is, hold on, guys. My next subscriber is Lucas. Thank you for liking, Lucas. My next subscriber is Robin. Thank you for liking, Robin. My next subscriber is Jason. Thank you for liking, Jason. My next subscriber is Pat. Thank you for liking, Pat. My next subscriber is Connor. Thank you for liking, Connor. My next subscriber is Fat. Thank you for liking, Fat. My next subscriber is Isidro. Isidro, thank you for liking, Isidro. My next subscriber is Ryan. Thank you for subscribing and liking, Ryan. Then my next subscriber is Lottie. Thank you for liking, Lottie. My next subscriber is Yasmin. Thank you for liking, Yasmin. Next, let's move here. My next subscriber. Hold on, guys. My next subscriber is. My next subscriber is Thomas. Thank you for liking, Thomas. Then my next subscriber is Peyton. Thank you for liking, Peyton. My next subscriber is. It is Daya. Here you go, Daya. Thank you so much for liking. My next subscriber is Achalefak. Achalefak. There you go. Thank you so much for liking. And my next subscriber is Usman. Here you go. Thank you so much for liking. Then we have is Fern in the chat who has subscribed. Thank you so much for liking. Then we got my next subscriber, Tommy. Thank you for liking, Tommy. My next subscriber, my next subscriber is. Hold on. My next subscriber is Kaysen. Thank you for liking, Kaysen. Here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is Arthur. Thank you so much for liking, Arthur. My next subscriber is Chloe. Thank you so much for liking, Chloe. My next subscriber in the chat is Robin. Here you go, Robin. Whoops. Here you go, Robin. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Larry. Here you go, Larry. Thank you so much for liking. Then my next subscriber is Lots. Thank you so much, Lots, for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Raghav. Raghav. Thank you for liking, Raghav. My next subscriber in the chat is Larry. Here you go, Larry. Thank you for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Waylon. Here you go, Waylon. Thank you for liking, Waylon. My next subscriber in the chat is Maverick. Here you go, Maverick. My next subscriber name in the chat is Lop. Thank you so much for liking Lop. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Sam. Thank you for liking Sam. My next subscriber in the chat is Ava. Thank you so much for liking Ava. My next subscriber in the chat is Mason. Thank you for liking Mason. My next subscriber in the chat is Adam. Thank you so much for liking Adam. My next subscriber in the chat is Austin. Thank you so much for liking Austin. My next subscriber in the chat is Jayona. Thank you so much for liking Jayona. My next subscriber in the chat is Logan. Thank you for liking Logan. My next subscriber in the chat is Lio. Thank you for liking Lio. Then my next subscriber is Ellen. Thank you for liking Ellen. My next subscriber is Quick. Thank you for liking Quick. My next subscriber in the chat is Madison. Thank you for liking Madison. My next subscriber in the chat is Anil. Thank you for liking Anil. Guys, just give me 1 minute. Guys, give All right, guys, let's go. All right, then we got is George in the chat. Here you go, George. Thank you so much for liking. Then we got is Jessica in the chat. Thank you so much, Jessica, for liking. Then we've got is Qwerty in the chat. Qwerty, thank you so much for liking. And my next subscriber is Nana in the chat. Thank you so much for liking, Nana. My next subscriber in the chat is Anella. Thank you, Anella, for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Cameron. Here you go, Cameron. Thank you so much for liking. And my next subscriber in the chat is Ocean. Here you go, Ocean. Thank you so much for liking. We got is Seung Min. Seung Min, thank you so much for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Sammy. Here you go, Sammy. Thank you so much for liking, Sammy. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Happy. All right, Happy, here you go. Thank you so much for liking. And my next subscriber in the chat is Meredith. Here you go, Meredith. Thank you so much for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Noah. Thank you so much, Noah, for liking. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Race. Thank you so much, Race, for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Cami. Thank you so much, Cami, for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Ryan. Thank you, Ryan, so much for liking. Then we got Alexa in the chat who has subscribed. Thank you, Alexa, for liking. Shifa, thank you so much for liking. Here you go. Then we've got is in the chat. Isaiah, here you go, Isaiah. Thank you so much for liking. Then we got is Striker in the chat. Thank you, Striker, for liking. Then we've got is Alex in the chat who has subscribed. Thank you for subscribing, Alex. Then we got is Laura in the chat who has subscribed. Then we got is Buyani. Thank you so much, Buyani, for subscribing and liking. Then we've got is Melina. Melina, thank you for liking. Then we've got is Jack in the chat. Thank you so much for liking, Jack. Then we've got is Mail in the chat. Thank you, Mail, for liking. We got is Megan in the chat. Thank you, Megan, for liking. All right, then we got is JJ. Thank you for liking, JJ. Okay, guys. Then we got is let's go, everyone. All right. Peter, here you go. Thank you for liking, Peter. Here you are. Then my next subscriber is Milu. Here you go, Milu. My next subscriber in the chat is everybody drop your names in the chat, everyone. Let's go. Drop your names in the chat, guys. Sophia, here you go, Sophia. Thank you so much for liking, Sophia. And we got is my next subscriber, Isaac, in the chat. Thank you so much, Isaac, for subscribing. Then we got is Mono in the chat. Thank you so much for liking, Mono. Then we got is Noah in the chat. Thank you so much, Noah, for liking. Then we got is Scarlett in the chat. Thank you, Scarlett, for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Julissa. Thank you, Julissa, for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Nicola. Thank you, Nicola, for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr. Thank you so much for liking, Abu Bakr. My next subscriber in the chat is Bobo. Thank you so much, Bobo, for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Aos. Here you go, Aos. Thank you so much for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Omar. Thank you, Omar, for liking. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Ion. Thank you, Ion, for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Jandel. Thank you, Jandel, for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is A-Line. Thank you, A-Line, for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Max. Here you go, Max. Thank you so much for liking. Then we've got my next subscriber in the chat is, guys, it is Aaron. Thank you so much for liking, Aaron. My next subscriber in the chat is Tori. Here you go, Tori. My next subscriber in the chat is Luke. Here you go, Luke. Thank you so much for liking. My next subscriber in the chat is Sky. Thank you so much for liking, Sky.